Hello and welcome into the Remix. I'm Paula Eben. We've got a great show ahead. We talked to Sam Adams about their latest beer offerings. There's the Fidelity Investments Young Artists Competition every talented high schooler should know about. And Rob McElhenney and the cast of Mythic Quest discuss season 4 of the hit show. But first, we start with Restaurant Row.
Hey, the Super Bowl is set. It's the Chiefs, it's the Eagles, and let's be honest, for most of America, it's not about the game, it's about the food. And rejoining us today, no stranger to the WBZ studios, Chef Marc Sheehan from Northern Spy in Canton. Chef, thanks for coming back in. You were in the fall, and here we go. This is like one of America's premier food days.
Yeah, I think particularly this upcoming game where maybe New England doesn't have too much of a rooting interest in it. You know, this is mostly what I'm interested in when I'm watching a game where, you know, really what's happening on the field is not the most important thing to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's always about the food. And you are making the centerpiece chili.
Correct. So this is our sous chef, Andrew. This is his chili from Northern Spy that we serve at the restaurant. It's a little more involved maybe than what you might make at home. But, you know, if you have your favorite recipe, if you know, it's something you can make in advance. It's something that you can stick in the freezer a week before the game, so that once it's Super Bowl day, you throw the jersey on, crack open a beer, heat up the chili, and you're ready to go.
So that is the first nugget you're bringing, because obviously people aren't going to be able to replicate an award-winning chili you serve at Northern Spy, but as you said, they can do their own, and then you, as you just said, freeze it ahead of time.
Yeah.
There's a benefit not only economically there, but also with the flavor, right?
I absolutely. That usually things like this, these like slow cooked, you know, dishes, like one pot dishes, a braise or a stew or something.
Yeah.
That once you cook them, you let them sit, all those flavors kind of marry together.
Is that as simple as it is? It's just a melding of these flavors?
Yeah. And really for this chili, the few secrets that I'll give you is one, we make our own chili paste. So it's red peppers, jalapenos, onion, garlic. We have a big wood-fired grill at Northern Spy, so that everything gets smoked over the fire, pureed up, so it's kind of smoky, charred, sweet, spicy. And then a little chili powder that's used to season the mix. That has a little, you know, a few different types of chilies. There's a small amount of cocoa powder in there. A little bit of cinnamon, not too much cinnamon. We're not really trying to make this taste like dessert.
Yeah.
And then in Andrew's chili, it's not only ground beef, but there's also some slow roasted braised beef ribs.
Oh, wow.
That we smoke over the fire for a number of hours, pick all the meat, braise them, and then that liquid, that meat gets sort of folded back in along with some pinto beans that are cooked in those sort of like rib juices.
So the question is answered.
Yeah.
Do beans go into chili?
Well, if we're down in Texas, no.
Yeah.
But in Boston, beans are going in the chili.
Yeah.
All right.
And this too is fun. You are making this not just a meal, you're making this an experience where everyone can kind of customize their own dish. I love this idea.
Well, I think this is actually how we serve it at the restaurant, but I think it translates really well to at home, is that you're gonna probably set up a buffet. You don't wanna be serving your guests individual plates. People wanna keep getting up, watching the game, going and grabbing a second plate, you know, snacking throughout the evening. And so we do kind of a build your own chili situation. And these are just a couple ideas for what you could have. These are some tortilla strips that are just julienned, crispy fried. You could bake them in the oven easily. You could also just buy Fritos. You know, whatever your favorite chip is. These are some smoked and roasted tomatoes, you know, classically some sour cream, a little scallion. This is a grilled corn salsa, pickled jalapenos. My mom always served chili with cornbread.
Okay.
So these are some cornbread croutons.
Okay.
We toasted in a little bacon fat. So get them a little crispy, a little smoky. And then this is some homemade chili crisp. So if you want to take that heat up a little bit, but also get a little texture, a little crunch, that's a great topping. Want me to plate one up for you?
Go ahead. Why don't you plate? Obviously, you've got other foodstuffs here. Wings always go well with the Super Bowl. You brought in some beautiful wings. Amazing.
Here, this is we call it fried pickle dip, but it's essentially like feta cheese, dill pickles, some smoked garlic mixed up like a dip, a few more pickles on top. yeah, you know, just really good snacky party food.
And I was going to say, Northern Spy down in Canton is in a beautiful location on the Revere Historic Site and a big old mill. But there seems to be this perfect symmetry between your location and the food itself that really just kind of speaks to this approachability and this heartiness that's right in line with New England and Americana.
Yeah, I think, you know, looking at that space and, you know, feeling the history of it and thinking about the people who were there rolling copper in Paul Revere's time, that it made it so that cooking over wood made the most sense, that it provides this flavor that's really informs the food, informs the time period of the space, but also, you know, we're trying to be a restaurant that you can come to on a Tuesday night to grab a burger or on a Saturday night for a special occasion, and, you know, hopefully we thread that needle.
Yeah. All right, real quick, can I dress up one?
Please, yeah. Let me grab you a plate.
Fantastic.
And let's see, what are going to be your preferred toppings?
Oh my gosh! So you're not going to take offense to any of this?
No. I mean, this is now at this point I've plated. It's yours.
Wow. Okay. So let me go in here. What do I start with? I guess you're always going to start with a little bit of cheese, right? A little bit.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Pretty. I can't believe you made some chili crunch. I love the hot stuff.
Good.
I'll go on top. We need it to have to be colorful, right?
Yeah.
Some scallions here. This is beautiful. This is a thing of beauty. And then a dollop. Got to have that dollop on top, don't you?
I like that. It's like your ice
Hey,
cream
look at
sundae.
this.
Yeah.
I made my own chili ice cream sundae.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
Great.
All right.
Here, let me get you. Spoon?
Gotta try it.
Yeah, get
All
in
right.
there.
Fantastic. I can't believe the brisket inside. And you serve this at Northern Spy.
This is at Northern Spy. If you know, if it's a cold night, snowy night, Super Bowl night, we'll have chili for you.
Oh my gosh, it is delicious. Chef,
Thank you so much.
thanks so much for joining.
Absolutely.
Super Bowl is coming up.
Coming up on the Remix, the Fidelity Investments Young Artist Competition. We'll talk to past winners and how your son or daughter can sign up and possibly play on stage with the Boston Pops. It's a contest that gives young artists a platform to show off their budding talent. The Fidelity Investments Young Artists Competition with the Boston Symphony Orchestra and the Boston Pops. And today we are joined by the winners of last year's competition, Lazar Kaminsky, Sue Yavuz, and Brian Washington. Congratulations. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you.
It must seem like a long time ago, last year. Let me start with you, Lazar. And now that you've been through the entire process and you can reflect back on it, what was it like to be part of this competition?
It was amazing. I mean, the result was amazing.
Yeah.
I've been part of the competition numerous times, and this last time was successful for me, and it was nothing less than a thrilling experience.
Just
overall.
amazing.
Yeah.
So how about for you?
I mean, of course, it's a big, huge dream come true, and I would watch my idols on stage, like at home on YouTube, and now like I performed there with one of my closest friends, and it was just like a really good experience, of course.
Yeah, Brian, when you look back.
Yeah, when I look back, so long ago. You know, going back, I would definitely say it was just a wonderful, great opportunity. Just being there and performing, especially with the Pops, it just was like, it was so huge. It was bigger than what I thought it would be. So I'm just extremely grateful for the opportunity.
I mean, performing in Symphony Hall is the goal of many artists around the world. What was it that got all of you involved? And Brian, this time I'll start with you.
What got me involved? I would say for me, and it's probably the same thing for Sue, I was not like as inclined to do this until I was told by my my arts teachers, specifically my teacher, Mr. Ravelli, my percussion teacher. He told me about this competition, and he introduced it to me, and I said, you know what, I might as well give it a shot. So ever since then, I worked hard and practiced, and it pushed me towards getting here today.
Because you and Sue, I should explain, are a jazz duo. You on drums, Sue on piano, and Lazar, you play the cello.
Yes.
It's important for high school students, I think, to understand that you don't have to be an elite musician right now, right? You just have to be passionate about your instrument, or if you're a vocalist, whatever your range of music is. What would you say to a student who might be reluctant to jump in?
I would say that I've lost this competition more times than I've won it, and the win resulted from me not giving up, and even if that did never happen, you know, I wouldn't regret it. I wouldn't regret doing it. I mean, I was in the finals 3 times. I did it overall 4 times, making the finals 3 times, this last time winning, and I would just say that, you know, the persistence is what got me there, and I felt like, you know, each year I improved after it, and it eventually got me to Symphony Hall.
I love that you kept coming back and back. And Sue, how about for you? You know, some students might think, well, I like my instrument, but maybe I'm not good enough. How would you encourage them to enter?
I mean, I'd say preparation is key, of course, but at the same time, enjoying the process, loving what you're doing, loving your music, loving your instrument. Because if you don't love your instrument and if you don't believe in yourself, then you're not going to get anywhere. Like, you can't force yourself to love something. You gotta just keep going, don't give up, and enjoy everything, enjoy the process.
Yeah, because members of the Boston Pops worked with you, right? What, you know, how much did that help when it came to the final concert performance?
Mr. Dara, he was amazing. He was great. He plays drums for the Pops. He taught me and Sue consecutively for weeks. It was great. It was a great opportunity, just learning from a professional himself that literally plays there like weekly or every other day. I'm not really sure, but it was great. It was a great opportunity for sure.
Did you feel like it brought you to the next level?
I mean, of course. I mean, when we heard the arrangement, we were freaking out because what? Like, it was just an amazing, amazing arrangement. And of course, like, working with them just like brought us to a different level. I mean, especially for me, like, it made me see music in a different way, and it made me approach it in a different way as well.
And the cello, Lazar, is a solitary instrument, so you spend a lot of hours practicing alone. It must have been so valuable to be able to work with professional musicians.
Yes, and Owen Young was the BSO cellist that helped me prepare for this, and he did a fantastic job, helped me a lot. We had a lot of great conversations, great laughs, and he obviously prepared me. I hope that it looked like it, but very, very well, and I enjoyed the whole process a lot.
Amazing. Now, you're still at Boston Arts Academy, Brian, and Sue, you're at Berkeley. Lazar, you're at the Conservatory. What's next for all of you?
You know, I'm going to keep studying.
And you teach as well.
I do. Yes, I'm doing teaching to make money, and as I love it, I love doing it, but I love performing. I'm going to keep studying, hopefully keep getting opportunities. I mean, this was, I would say, probably the biggest opportunity of my lifetime, and I hope that, you know, one day I get something that it comes close to matching it.
Right. And so did you realize through this whole process, this is going to be my life?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love performing. I love everything that I've been doing so far. And right now, like at Berkeley too, I'm planning on like collaborating a lot, composing, and I'm composing right now too, putting out my own album.
Wow.
You know, it's just like my dream right now. And I also sing too, so I'm trying to like do everything together.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any plans for next year so far?
Of course, I've applied to many schools, and I'm just, hoping for, of course, great results. And from there, I'll just be taking my next move. I'm definitely pursuing music, of course. So I'm just waiting on to see what's next, and whatever college gives me the best, I will be over there.
And this competition is great to have on your resume. So we
wonderful.
encourage all of the high school students out there. The deadline to apply for this year's competition is coming up fast. Any talented high school instrumentalist or vocalist are urged to apply. The deadline is March 3rd. All the information, you just upload a video on YouTube, right? Yeah. Yep. All the information is on bso.org. Best of luck to all of you with your music careers, and it's just been a pleasure to get to know you and hear how excited you are about your life in music.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, it's a hit show about the video game industry, and it's back for a 4th season. Still to come on the Remix, we talk to the cast of Mythic Quest, including one of the creators, Rob McElhenney. What do AI, work-life balance, and video games all have in common? They're all featured in the brand new season of Mythic Quest on Apple TV+. CBS News Boston digital host Joe Weil sat down with the cast members ahead of the season release.
Hello. How can I inspire you today?
Enjoy that.
Calling all video game lovers. The highly anticipated 4th season of Apple TV's Mythic Quest has returned after 2 years, and it seems no one is more excited than the actors themselves.
We have really interesting, we always have a standalone episode for Mythic Quest, but we have a lot of interesting stylized episodes this season that aren't just, within the main storyline, that aren't just the standalone. That one of them is directed by Megan Gans very, very effectively. And I think that's probably what I'm most excited about.
The dark comedy takes an inside look at the chaotic world of a video game studio, something that co-creator Rob McElhenney says provides a unique perspective into one of the biggest global industries.
The gaming industry dwarfs the traditional entertainment business. There are more people gaming across the world or interacting with games on a daily basis than doing just about anything. But beyond that, I think what draws people to anything actually has less to do with the industry or what in the workplace environment, what the work actually is, and more has to do with the relationships between the people there. The Office was such a smash hit, and yet you didn't hear a lot of people talking about the paper industry and how the paper industry was such an area rife for story.
For writer Ashley Birch, who already had a great career in the gaming industry, this season was a huge step.
Your list of voiceover characters you've done in your video game career is pretty remarkable. There's so many different characters that you voice. When this role came about, how excited were you about playing yourself as a person actually on screen as part of this show in sort of the backdrop to something that is so near and dear to your heart?
Yeah, I was so excited. I actually asked if I could audition, which I'm still kind of astonished that I did. And it's such a...
You got the role.
I got the role.
I don't know if we told you.
Yeah, because I was just showing up and hoping. And it's such a fun thing because I'm really, I've loved games since I was a little kid. And so even the fact that this show existed, that it was being made, was so bizarre and amazing to me, that there could be a show that's made about a thing that I've loved so much for so long, and then getting to be a part of it, both as a writer and then as an actor and now as a director, is just a dream come true. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And it's also fun because, the voice work I do, I'm playing characters in video games, and this is a character that just loves video games. So it's a very different mode.
The series has become such a fan favorite on Apple that an expansion is also in the works. It's getting a spin-off series called Side Quest, set to debut on March 26th. For CBS News Boston, I'm Joe Weil.
Whether it's non-alcoholic or regular beer, Boston's Sam Adams has you covered. Up next, I'll look at some of the new offerings from the brewer, including an alcohol-free IPA.
Well, between dry January and some choosing that alcohol may not be for them, there is a greater need for non-alcoholic options, and Boston's most famous brewery is up to the challenge. We have Shelly Smith here with us. She is the Senior Brewing Manager for Sam Adams. Shelly, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
We're so excited to have you. Let's just talk Sam Adams in general. This brand has really been a staple in Boston and has been around the country for decades. What really makes Sam such a timeless brand?
Yeah, great question. I think the quality of the beers that Sam Adams makes really is what helps that to make it such an iconic brand.
Yeah.
Boston Lager was the first beer that really helped to start the craft beer industry and the whole craft beer revolution. And so I think that's really what makes it such a timeless brand.
It's just kind of synonymous. Like when you open a cooler in the summer, it has to be in the cooler,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Yes.
Right. Take us through the new Just the Haze. This is a non-alcoholic IPA.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're seeing a really huge surge in interest of low and no alcohol options.
Yeah.
And so we decided to develop a non-alcoholic beer, which is our Sam Adams Just the Haze IPA. It is a hazy, juicy, world-class, delicious IPA that just happens to not have any alcohol.
Why was it so important for you guys to kind of put out a non-alcoholic option? We were saying how there's a rise in more and more people not drinking, but why was it important to Sam Adams to kind of get on that train?
Yeah, I think we really wanted an option for those who choose not to consume alcohol for any number of reasons. But I think the other great option is using this beer as a pacer beer. So someone might drink a regular IPA and then swap in a Just the Haze non-alcoholic IPA, and it really can extend those drinking occasions.
Totally. I didn't even think of it like that,
Yeah.
but that's a great point too. What's the science behind non-alcoholic beer? You see all of these things where the alcohol is removed. How do you get it to taste the same?
Yeah, great question. It's actually really challenging to develop a great tasting non-alcoholic beer in general. We actually spent 2 years developing this beer, so it was quite a challenge. Really relied on a lot of our brewing expertise and technology to help create that beer that tastes great and really delivers on all those flavor qualities and profiles that you're looking for, but without the alcohol.
So still tastes hoppy and has kind of all of those parts of it.
Exactly. So it still has that aroma and the flavor of an IPA, but just in a very different application.
I know, like with the craft cocktails, whenever it's usually a mocktail, there's always a lot of sugar added or kind of other things. And so it really can take away from the flavor of the drink. And so like you said, not surprised, 2 years trying to come up with that perfect mixture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really difficult, especially, that alcohol actually brings in some of the flavor.
Yeah.
And so trying to replace that in a different way.
Yeah.
And we also still wanted it to have that full body, that mouthfeel that you'd expect from an IPA. And so it was definitely quite a challenge, but we're pretty happy with where we landed with this one.
Beer scientist. Okay,
Yes.
for people who like their beer with the alcohol in it, of course you got that covered too, especially with the Super Bowl coming up.
Yes. We have a few great options for the Super Bowl. First up is our Sam Adams Cold Snap. This is our spring seasonal. It's an unfiltered wheat ale that also has a signature blend of 10 different spices. So really unique, really flavorful, but smooth, subtle, easy drinking. Great option for that.
Okay, and then this one over here.
Yeah, so this is our newest offering. This is our Sam Adams American Light. It is a light lager. It uses all American ingredients, super easy drinking. It's just 4.2% ABV, so a really nice beer for all those everyday occasions.
Okay, so we do have with us someone special that we want to bring in here. We brought in a beer taster.
Love it.
Okay,
Love it.
Want to welcome Joe Wild to the set. Joe usually does sports, but today he's doing beer. And
Listen, my arm had to be pulled to be a part of this.
Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay, so Joe's going to try a couple. I'm curious, what do you want him to try? Should we do like a non-alcoholic versus an alcoholic?
Definitely. Let's
and do
start
that?
with our Just the Haze non-alcoholic IPA.
Okay, perfect. Joe, while she gets us ready for you, have you had a non-alcoholic beer before?
I've actually never had a non-alcoholic beer before, and I was
Perfect.
thinking about this because my wife is doing Dry January, and she would love all of this to be a part of this segment. So she'll be jealous I had a chance to be involved. Thank you so much. Do I have to drink the full thing? Do I go just down the hatch or just a little bit? Okay.
Just give it a sip there,
Sounds
Okay.
I think you'll see in the aroma sort of that beautiful citrus note. You get some tangerine, some grapefruit, a little bit of lime. A lot of tropical fruit notes. You get some, pineapple, mango, guava. Really nice flavor
That
profile.
was fantastic. I'm gonna one more sip.
Okay, one more sip for
Great.
Joe. We're monitoring Joe. Oh wait, that's a non-alcoholic one. It's okay.
it's all
Yes,
it's never
yes,
mind.
it's all good.
Why do people love IPAs? Because this one isn't maybe as bitter as a lot of them, but I always feel like with IPAs, it's a drink in which people enjoy, but they might not know why because of the bitterness.
Yeah, and I think that's the really special thing with a juicy IPA. It has a little bit lower bitterness, so it comes across more as like there's a subtle sweetness, but enough bitterness to keep it balanced. So you really get all those fruity, juicy profiles that really help make that style unique.
Yeah, no, it's delicious. One more sip.
One more sip of the non-alcoholic. And I think, was it Cold Snap that's your favorite beer?
Yes. So this is actually a beer that I helped to develop.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, so it was one of the first ones that I ever worked on. This is a beer that's very near and dear to me. I love this beer. Yes.
Okay. All right, Joe, do you want to try?
I'm ready to give it a shot.
We'll
Great.
give Joe try Cold Snap really
Absolutely.
quick.
Let's
okay.
do it.
That way you can, kind of go back and forth between that
Yes.
non-alcoholic
Yes.
and then the traditional one. Kind of figure out the differences.
I'm excited to see the difference. Taste.
Yeah,
What's the
absolutely.
correct way to pour too?
Yeah, so you want to pour along the side, but it is really important to get a little bit of that foam at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's going to help release those aromas so that they carry up to your nose. You definitely want a little foam on the top of that beer.
Cheers,
So
everybody. Thank you
go.
again.
Enjoy.
Yes, cheers. And we have Shelley Smith, the senior brewing manager for Sam Adams. What do you think?
Fantastic.
Yes?
Great work. Fantastic
Thank you.
work.
Thank you.
Yes, this is fantastic.
Thanks so much.
Oh,
Yeah,
Shelley,
they're both
thanks.
great.
Thanks for coming in. Joe, thanks for being our tester.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us on the ReMix. We'll be back next week with more lifestyle, community, and entertainment news.